Hello, everyone. Today's training online. This is Chow. I'm from EcoCard Solution, and today's video I'll be going through several topics. The topics that we're covering will be starting the financial year, maintaining charter account, and also sales. I'll do some sample sales, purchases, debtor receipt, and supplier, and all these example we'll be going through one by one. Okay, so the whole online video training would probably take around 2 hours to complete, and your patience is appreciated very much. After this online video training, we will recommend you to join our Q&A session, which is going to be interactive using Google Hangout. So if you have any questions, okay, it's best that you write down, and then when you join the Q&A session, at the Q&A session, we'll explain in detail. Now, to participate in the Q&A session, we'll be sending you a link whereby you can see our schedule, Q&A schedule, indicate the session that you would like to participate, and then we will invite you in for the Q&A session. All right. So I'll start off with today with the start financial year, and start financial is very important. You need to start a financial year before you can proceed correctly. Now, to start financial year, okay, what's the purpose of start financial year? Now, to start financial year, first of all, you go to setup, start financial year. Now, start financial year basically allows you to say your business financial year. Okay, allows you to define from what period to what period. If your financial year is from January to December, indicate over here that your financial year is January, and automatically it will set start financial, and you click on start financial year, and from there on you can proceed to use the system. Now, assuming you have keyed in several transactions, okay, now this is done only once. All right, I repeat again, this is only done once when you start using the system. You don't have to do it many times, just do it once. Now, this is also useful when you want to get familiar with our product. So, and you have keying certain transactions in our system, and you want to start fresh all over again. Now, to do that, okay, all you have to do is that to click on to clear all transactions, and you remove all the transactions you have created in your test during your testing period. All right. So once you've done that, okay, then you click on to here, okay, and click on to here. You have started the financial year. Now this, when you click on start financial year, it will remove all your transactions that you have created earlier. Okay, all the transactions, including last year's transactions. All right. Now, but if you want to move on to the next financial year, you don't use this option. Okay, this is very critical. All right. So this is only used once when you're doing the setup. Now, if you want to move on to next financial year, okay, you don't. The option to choose is actually year-end processing. Okay, not here. Okay, not start financial year. All right. So that option is actually the year-end processing. So what I've done is that I've just started the financial year. All right. Now I'll move on to the next one, which is the next topic, which is the right reset financial year. So basically, to reset financial, you clear all the transactions and select the start financial year and click this button, and you repeat that all over again. All right. So I've started my financial year. That's the first thing that you should do. Okay. And the next thing is that you go to your accounts. Okay, chart accounts. All right, and also your recurring. Your chart accounts, and you have chart account maintenance. In here, you'll find that, okay, what all the accounts that you have defined. We have all the accounts that you have created before, and it will be listed out for you. The first 20 will be listed out for you. If you want to add more, you can add more by clicking to here. Okay. So, but before that, before proceeding creating a new chart account, new account, I would like to share with you the uh, templates. Okay, the templates that we have are 17 templates. You have 17 chart account templates. You can use any of them as an example. All right. So let's say I will create a chart account template using the general chart account. Okay. So once you click here, install, okay, and it show you successful, and you go back to your chart account, it show you this new chart account. Well, you can't see this. Okay, let me do an example. Okay, chart account template. Now, by clicking this one, install blank chart account, that means you remove all your chart accounts. Okay, so click install, and you go back to this button, go back to the chart account maintenance, and you see that there's no accounts involved anymore. Okay, so what happens is that if you use our existing chart account templates, then all the text code will be defined, all the other settings will be defined for you in our already. But if you intend to create your own chart account, then you have to be careful, and you need to set multiple areas of the account setting. For example, your forex account, your tax account, the GST control account, all these things has to be reset again, right? We will go through that again, okay, in other example later on, and when we start covering the GST, okay. So for this, okay, we show you we're going to use an existing chart account template, which is called the general chart account. If you want to install straight away, you can do that. You can click here, or if you want to view them, click here. Okay, and it will show you what are the accounts involved in here. Okay, this is just a sample. Now, this is the chart account template. I'm going to install, okay, general chart account. Once I've done that, and you go back to chart account, okay, you see that the accounts are created for you. Okay, so this is a very easy way. Now, if you want to add a new accounts, okay, all you have to do is click on to here. Okay, let's say text and department, there's none. Okay, special account is to indicate uh, uh, if you're familiar with UBS, okay, this is how the system has been designed. Our first version, we actually follow UBS design, and we felt that I think we need to refine this in the future. But in that case, okay, this is the accounts that we are using. Okay, so choose the special account. Okay, that this particular account is relevant to. If it is a if it's a bank, okay, make sure you select as a bank account. Okay, so if it's not, just leave it blank. And assuming if you choose this as a special account, bank account, and bank account is a current asset, okay, and all you have to do is click add. Okay, so when you do that, you see that this account is created for you. Okay, this is how you define one chart account. All right, now um, okay, once you have done that, okay, create a chart account. Next thing you create template customization and maintenance opening balances. Now you want to cover on the opening balances. Now, how do you create the opening balance? Right? Come to JL accounts, okay, opening balance. All right. So from here you can define your opening balance 1000, okay, or over here somewhere else. Okay. Now you see that there's a shortfall 1000 is highlighted to you, okay, if the amount do not balance, okay. So the system will automatically compute for you. All right, if you're happy with this figure, just click update, and the system will update the opening balance correctly. Okay, So this is how you create the opening balance. All right. Next, we'll cover on the sales. Okay. So remember, if you have any questions, please write down. And after you've written down during the Q&A session, before the Q&A session, please send in your questions, and we will compile them. And during the Q&A session, we'll run through the question. And those common questions will be answered immediately, and those very specific to your question and it's not shared by others, we will answer them one by one in the Q&A session. If you are not interested, you don't have to continue, but if you're interested to listen, then you can continue in the on the Q&A session video. Okay, so so that's all you have to do. Now let's go back to the topic. Now I want to create a sales now. Okay, to create a sales, first of all, you create a customer. Okay, you need to create a customer. Okay, for your info, this is all about the file. Okay, administrative work, GL related, chart account related, and customer, basically everything that relates to customer. Supplier, everything relates to the supplier. Now, if it's GST related, this is where the GST related functions will be displayed here. Okay, reports. Okay, and set up. Now, I want to create a customer maintenance. Okay, so if you want to create a customer, first of all, you see the blank customer list is blank. I want to create a new customer. When I create a new customer, okay, I can test customer. Okay, right? Business registration number 123. Okay, trade control account 3000. Okay, now I would like to highlight to you a few key information. Right, the first key information is this: open item flag. What does this means is that if you sell something to this particular customer, okay, and you have chosen a open item flag. Now, when you receive payment from this particular customer, you have to manually offset the sales. Okay, so but if you choose it to be a non-open item flag, okay, customer, then when you receive payment from your customer, you will basically automatically knock off the oldest one from the list. Okay, so you have to choose either is a open item flag or it's non-open item flag. Okay, it's very important. Now, the second most important thing that I would like to highlight to you is that trading in currency. If you are buying anything, okay, or if you're trading, this customer is a local customer and not a foreign customer, make sure that you select this, okay, blank. Don't fill it with anything. All right, so it must be blank. Okay, if you're trading with a foreign customer, okay, then, and it's always, let's say, in US dollar, then choose the US dollar here. Okay, so if you choose Malaysian ringgit here, it also means that you're trading in Malaysian ringgit. Okay, this customer will be treated as foreign customer. All right, so leave it blank. Okay, if this is a local customer. All right, so that's the purpose of this flag. Okay, so I will leave this customer as a non-open item. Submit. Okay, go back to your customer maintenance, and you see a customer over here. Okay, created. Now, go to the, if you want to, if you are very likely you're migrating your accounts from other system to our system, so you want to carry forward some of the balances, bring forward some of the balances from your previous system to our system. Now, to carry forward the balances, okay, what you have to do is that, okay, highlight the link just now that I pointed to and key in the transaction date. Okay, and what transaction was that? Okay, and key in amount. Okay, and sales. transaction. Once you have done that, click add. Okay, so you have created a sales transaction. Okay, followed by that, subsequently, next once you have, this is how you create the brought forward balances for the customer. Similarly, the supplier will work the same thing too. If you go to here, okay, um, others, okay, supplier opening balances, okay, customer, okay, others, opening balances, right? This is how you maintain the opening balances of the customer. You can do it two ways. One way is, okay, is that you go to your customer maintenance and you edit the balance, all right? And I show you this list. The other way, okay, go to here, others, opening balances, and it will highlight to you blank, select the customer, all right, and it will show you the balances. Right. These are two ways you can open the customer balances or supplier balances, right? So you have created a supplier customer, sorry. So now I'm going to create a sales. Okay, to create the sales, come to this side. Okay, and there's no sales because it's blank. So to create a sales, click on to this button. Okay, now you'll see that the invoice number, you can input the key. Now I'll explain to this part later, okay, but by default basically the number is generated for you. Okay, so what happens is that I'll create a new item of sales item. Okay, let's say customer A, select, add, okay, cash 1000. Okay. Now if you choose a SR, okay, and sales, right? So if I'm happy with this, all I have to do is click on save. Okay, once I save, go back to my sales. Okay, you'll see that the sales transaction was created. Okay, so now if I create another one, okay, let's say I create another one. Save. Okay, so this is my second sales that I've created. Now go back to my screen again, sales. Okay, so what happens is that I have two transactions created now. I can perform sorting by bill number, okay, or by amount. Right? If I want ascending, I click ascending or descending. Okay. So now, assuming the list here is very long, you have a lot of sales, and there are 100 old pages, okay, or 1,000 old pages over here. And you can't be clicking here, you know, scroll left, scroll right, the kind of thing. So you want to do a quick filtering. What you can do is come to here, this field, type in 1,100, and the system will actually filter either by the date. It's smart enough to recognize the values you key in here, whether it's a date or it's an invoice number or it's a description. All right. So whichever that matches, okay, it will show you on this screen. It is important that you use preview, okay, on the tax invoices, all right? Because the reason is that once you print, you cannot make alterations anymore, right? This is the custom regulation. So use preview, okay, until you're finally happy with it, then you use the print option, okay? So for preview, you can do many times. Print, you only do it once, right? So this is, you have over 20 formats, okay, of tax invoices, okay? So let me do a preview for the first one. You can see. Now for preview, we always append the preliminary word here, all right? This is the first format. If you want to look at the second format, okay, then this is the second format. Yeah, so you have multiple formats to choose from, and choose the one that you like. Okay, so this is the multiple invoice format. We have 20 of them. Okay, so let's say if I print, right? Once I print, you can see the word here is tax invoice. Okay, so when tax invoice, I can't make any more changes after this. All right, so let's say tax invoice. You might try to save them. Okay, you can, unfortunately. Let me go back out again and still. The reason why you can make the changes is because your GST start date have not started yet. So let me go back to the account module setup. Okay, GST setup. Okay, which is the 1st April. If I change this to 1st January, oh sorry, should be this one. Okay, so if we change this to 1st January, now go back to my sales here. Okay, if I try to change this again, save it, okay, it will tell you can't. All right, so it's important that before you print, make sure you're happy with the result. Okay, so print again. I want to show you the system will actually show you a duplicate copy. Okay, so when the custom look at it, okay, they know that this is the second copy. Okay, so this is the custom requirement too. All right. Okay. What is the OET? Okay, I can see there's a flag over here, OET. Refer back to the custom rules. Okay. Um, Let me open that up for you. All right. Now, if you look at the custom rule, okay, um, there's this requirement where it says that if it is a O, okay, under the O, your IRR rate is based on the O, okay, and the O is only for those items that is under the following tax codes, all right, and you can apply, uh, Now the O is actually the other excluded transactions, okay. You can look at this item here, okay. So and it's discretional and it's not the all the time. If you see any of this tax code, okay, then you apply the oh no, that's not how it works. Okay, you have to make a discretion for that. All right, so you have to consult your tax agent to determine which one qualifies for OET and which one does not qualify, and um, and the OET will affect your IRR rates. All right, okay, now um, okay, in addition to that, we have also what we call an add template. Okay, what the add template here does is that it allows you to capture what you have keyed in over here, and so that you can recall it back in the future. So I've just created a template, okay, called AAA. All right, so I'm going to go out here, go back to sales. Okay, I'm going to create a new sales invoice, and I don't want to type it all over again. So what do? I go to the list template. Okay, open AA, and it will show you back all the entries you have created earlier. Okay, so this is how you define, you can use the template for. Now, all right, and then you can save it. Now, the question here is that sometimes you want this particular account to be assigned to a tax code. Every time when the user select this account, then you want to assign a tax code to it. Alternatively, when you choose this customer, it always goes to this sales account and it will not go to other sales account. Okay, so how do you define this again? Go back to your sales, customer maintenance, okay, and choose, okay, sorry, let me go back to here again. Customer sales, okay, I create a new sales and I choose A. When I click add, you can see nothing appears, okay, on this account. Okay, so you want to default an account, a credit account. To do that, okay, go to your customer maintenance, okay, click onto this. I want to select my sales account. Let's say this is the sales account I want to have for this particular customer, right? Always default. Now, when I do that, go back to my sales, create sales A. Now, and when I add item, you'll see that it is always defaulted to this account. Okay, I don't have to type in anymore. All right, so to do that, so this is how you define a sales account. Now, at the same time, you see the tax code is not assigned. Okay, sometimes you know that you want to assign a tax code for this particular account. Okay, how do you go about to do that? Go to your chart account. Okay, chart account, type sales. Okay, and the sales, you choose SR. Okay, and save it. Once I've done that, you come back to the sales. Okay, create a sales. Okay, add item, and you see that every time you add an item, you will default the tax code and the account for you. Okay, so this is how you assign a tax code to a particular account. Okay, now yeah, so this way you will avoid making mistakes of not assigning any tax code or wrong tax code. Okay, so this is how you do it. Now I'm going to move on to the next topic, which is purchases. Okay, very similar to sales. Go to the supplier, add a supplier. Okay, supplier. Okay, supplier is 4,000. Okay. So similarly, this is how you define your control account, assigning a control account to the supplier. And again, whether you want an open item flag or non-open item flag. Okay. Now your credit limit. Okay, not sorry, your credit limit. Now remember, trading in currency. Okay, leave it blank if it's local currency. All right. Now, if you set this correctly, the system will automatically help you to compute the forex gain and losses. All right. So I'm going to save this now. So I created a supplier. Same thing. Purchases. Create a purchase. Okay. Now I've created a purchase. I'm going to create a purchase now, and all right. So similarly, purchases. Select the tax code from here. Okay, and if you define this supplier with the debit account, then the system will automatically select the debit account for you. And if you have tax code assigned to the account, then the system will also automatically assign the tax code for you too. Okay, so this is how you manage the tax code. Okay, product purchase. So invoice number you need to key, all right? Okay. All right, so you have saved it. Now go back to your purchase screen, and this is what I see. Now, where do you get the tax inclusive and exclusive? Okay, this is where you define your tax inclusive and exclusive. Okay, so ignore this tax, ignore the currency and the rate. Okay, we will be taking out very soon. And assuming that you have chosen a TX, right? If you're choosing a TX, okay, you can see the number will change over here. This method, if you check off, means is tax exclusive. If you check on, this tax inclusive, right? You can see the number changes over here accordingly to. Okay, so and if it is a simplified tax invoice, click on to this, all right? Purchases. Okay, so right. Okay, so now you have done this. Okay, next thing is that customer supplier purchases, and you see they will actually post the accounting entry for you. Okay, so and also compute the figure for you. All right, now I've covered the purchases and the sales. Okay, the next is that debit note. Okay, is very similar. Okay, very similar to what you have seen earlier. Okay, so credit note is the same thing. Okay, it's very similar to the sales, okay, and purchases, right? There's no differences. Now, uh, purchases. Now let's go back to the purchases. I want to cover a little bit on some other area here. Now, purchase, okay, you have a CGA ID over here. Now, CGA ID is a advanced level. Okay, we support CGA, and CGA. If you choose this CG, it means that this is a capital goods, but you don't need to do annual adjustment. Right, it's a normal capital goods. But if you need an annual adjustment, where do you define them? Okay, now to define the annual adjustment, you go to the capital good CGA group definition, land, let's say give it land, okay, and land. If it is the tenure, click on tenure, add. So, and you have defined the land. So next, okay, go back to your purchase, okay, and click on create. Let's say select this one. Make sure you select the land. All right. So the system will automatically compute the your all the annual adjustment for you, everything. Will take care of everything for you. All right. So, and you don't have to worry. Okay. Now with this, okay, land means that the annual adjustment will take into consideration. Okay. Now CG, it means that you don't it's a capital good. It will be reported in your GST03 file, but it will not be adjusted annually. But if you choose the land here, then it will be adjusted annually. All right. So just be careful on this part. Now, okay. So I've basically covered the sales and purchases. Okay. And next, I will do a let's say a saving back. Now, I'll do a coverage on the debtor receipt and supplier payment. Now, very similar. Okay. If I do a sales, as I've done just now, okay, there are two sales here. So I want to do a receipt from the customer, receive from customer. So to do a receipt from customer, okay, as you can see, I've got a tax account here. Okay, to do a tax account, what do? If I change my chart account here, okay, to be this account to be a non-bank account, all right, and I save it. Okay, when I save it, I go back to my receipt, the customer receipt, receive money, you see that account disappears. Okay, so what happens that now let's say I want to create a receipt from a customer. Okay, select the customer. Okay, and the date. Let's say 1000. Now 1000, you can see that when I move my arrow, my cursor into this location, it blocks me from trying to check offset. Okay, now you can see that um, this customer is actually a balance brought forward and do not support offset approach. The system, what this means is that the system will automatically knock off the oldest one. That means this one will get knock off first. The 1000 will knock off this 1000. 1000 will knock off this 4000 amount. All right. So use it with caution. All right. Let me see. Customer, and you find that we choose customer A. There are 3 transactions. This is actually a brought forward balance. Okay, and select A. Okay, and choose the amount to 1000. All right, and test. Okay, now all you have to do is just click submit. Okay, and that's it. It will show you which one that you have knock off for you. Okay, which is this figure. All right, the first item. All right, so the oldest one. Now you go back to refresh, it will show you that 1000 is knock off on this 4000. Okay, so now remember, okay, this debtor is actually a balance brought forward debtor, and basically, if you receive payment, advance deposit payment, then make sure you check this advance deposit payment. When you do that, okay, then the system will basically not offset any of the amount over here. Okay, so I'll do an example whereby 2000. Okay, and I submit the receipt again. Okay, cannot be found. That's because you don't have a down payment account. So to do a down payment account, okay, to set up the down payment account, go back to account module setup. Okay, under the general setup, make sure your advance payment account, okay, you set up the advance payment account correctly, deposit and prepayment. Now, make sure if you are using Forex, make sure you use this option too. Okay, select the Forex to postage. All right. So once you've done this, okay, update. Click on to the update here. Okay, there you go. Okay, so you have the deposit and exchange rate updated. Now go back to your receipt. Okay. You want to receive money, okay, and this is a tax code. Okay, if you need to know how to use this, 1000, 1500. Now when you do this, okay, now if you remember this example earlier, it will automatically offset the oldest one, right? But if you choose an advance payment, okay, and you click submit, you find that, okay, it does not show you any item that's been offset. Okay, so it's blank. And if you do a refresh, okay, the 1500 is not reflected in here at all. Okay, it's not used to offset anything. So advance payment is important. Okay, use it carefully. And Malaysian GST, if the advance payment is not refundable, then it's taxable amount. All right. So this is the thing you have to take into consideration. All right. Now, then next thing is that we'll cover on purchases, supply payment. Sorry, supply payment. On supply payment, very similar. Okay, make payment. Okay, and It's the same screen like the previous one. Okay, right. So let's see, you can't check anything because this supplier, sorry, the wrong labeling. Okay, this supplier is a balance brought forward. All right. So you go back to the supplier maintenance and change it. Okay, supplier maintenance, change it to a open item flag whereby you have to manually knock off. Okay, go back to manually knock off and then go back to payment. Okay, make payment. Now $11. You can see that. Okay, now I can check off over here. This is an open item. Sorry, supplier. It should be a supplier. We will change this accordingly. Okay. So once you do this, submit. Okay, and it show you the offset amount, offset item, and refresh this. You see that the figure also reflected correctly. Okay. So this is how you do the self bill. Sorry, payment. Okay, for supplier. All right. Now, next is that we will be covering on the staff salary and cash purchases. They're all related. Okay, so they're all done in the same area. Same. These options basically sales. Okay, related to debtors. Purchases are related to creditors. Now, in the event that you have only accounting entry, you have cash purchases and cash sales. Okay, supply. Typically they are not your core function of your business, then you normally use the cash supply and cash sales. Okay, so if you look at here, cash supply, right, create. Okay, you can see that you can see that you can see that the debit account, sales account, this is a debit account that you want to post into. And similarly, a very simple same screen. Okay, um, sales is bank, cash sales, bank. All right, if I choose a bank account here and chess sale, cash sales, all right, two 500. Okay, and say sales, and I choose a sale product A. Okay. Now, now, if you remember, okay, Malaysian GST tax, it says that um, if it is a full tax for full tax invoice, okay, if a customer, if you're doing a sales, okay, over the counter, and you don't want to keep the customer's record, all right, and you don't want to create a debtor record information, it's very messy. You have to go to the next step, go to this screen, and then go to this screen. You have to create this screen, then come back to here again, to create the customer. You just want to create one off only, all right, and you don't care about the customer. Now, to do that, what you have to do is that first of all, okay, type in the name. Let's say Chow, okay, and Chow, okay, um, okay, you can give a full name and the business registration number 123, okay, and GST number, okay, line number 3 is a GST 00123, okay, and then you key in the billing address line 4 and 7, you key in 15, okay, Jalan Terengganu, okay, and Taman Cempaka, okay. So you can key 4 lines, all right. And if you don't have this line, make sure skip, okay, skip, right. And then this is key for postcode 56,000, okay, and then followed by the state, Wilayah Persekutuan, okay, Malaysia, right. So once you do this, okay, the system will actually generate a full tax invoice for you, okay, without by skipping that additional registration process, okay. So what you have to do is that click add, okay, and you have registered the success customer. Okay, now if you sell the customer, if you now you're ready to save this cash sales. So click on cash sales. Okay, the invoice was successfully saved. Go back to cash supply. You see the transactions created for you, right? Now you open this back, okay, review, okay, it will be tax invoice, okay, and you can see the details of the customer is over here, all right? So, and it generates the address for your customer. This is your what do you call full text invoice, all right? So choose whatever format that is suitable for you. Now, there's a difference between this text invoice over here and the standard text invoice. You can see the difference between here. Let me choose this one now. Let me go back to the earlier one. Okay. You can see there's a there's plenty options over here. Um, for for this option preview, you see the preliminary text invoice, okay, and this is the output format that's generated for you, right? Now the word here is actually prelim text invoice, okay. Now if you generate this one, okay, preview, prelim sales invoice, okay, what's the difference between the two? Before the GST implementation, you would choose this one because tax invoice is only meant for during GST enforced. When it's not enforced, you cannot use this at all. So therefore, we have to support both at this point in time. Now, after GST implementation, you'll find that there'll be some cases whereby you issue standard invoices, sale invoices without tax invoices. All right. We heard there are some such requirement. Therefore, we're going to keep these two available for you. All right. So that's the difference between the two. Now, coming back to this again. Let me continue back where we stopped. All right. So we have basically covered the advance payment, okay, and cash purchases. Staff salary is just an expense item. All right. You can make a journal entry, or you can make a purchase item entry. You'll be more of a, you can't involve purchase. So basically, it's a journal entry. Now, to do journal entry, there's a what they call um, journal entry. You can create a journal entry from here. Okay, create a journal entry, right? And so let's say date. Now account. Indicate account that you want to post account to. Let's say a. Okay. So I'm setting, okay, debit 1000, okay, you press F2, okay, okay. So once you're happy, save this, all right, and that's it. So go back to your journal maintenance, okay, you see that entry created for you, all right. Click on to here, you open back the entry, okay. So this is what it does. Now, okay, this covers the journal entry, and now you can perform things like recurring transactions, all right, and if that's what you want to do, okay. Now, first of all, you need to define the codes and then the group name, right? It's not covered in this video unless requested by maybe in the next video we'll probably cover that in. All right. Now, okay, GST. Okay, we'll cover the topic of GST. GST is a very control. Now, assuming if you decide to change, you customize your chart accounts and all your other stuff and so on, once you have your own accounts, you don't want to use this one, then it's important that you perform this step. Okay, make sure your parameters are set correctly. Okay, you go to the because when you have your own chart account, okay, you don't have GST control account, then the system will give you errors. Okay, it tell you some of the accounts that is expecting there, but then couldn't find the account. All right, so very important. How do you find or which area you should always look for when you have a customized chart account? Now, customized chart account, okay, always go to check at the following places. Number one, okay, go to the account module setup. You go to the GST setup. Okay, make sure the setup is done correctly. Okay, all this information is filled. The date is correct. Okay, not 1st of January. Second thing is that, okay, the GST control account. Your account must not be blank. It must be filled with these values over here like this. Okay, this is the GST control account. Okay, so it cannot be blank. If you have changed your chart account and it affects the GST control account, then this field will be blank. Okay, so this is one area you have to check. Okay, control account, right, set up GST control account. Okay, so that's one place. Okay, go to setup account module. Okay, followed by GST control account. Right. Once I've done that, the second thing you have to do is go to tax schedule maintenance. In the tax schedule maintenance, okay, click on maintain, and it will default you a screen to add new tax code. Okay, if you want to see what was defined for this particular schedule, okay, click on to here, and it show you the list of tax code defined for you already. Okay, you can add as many tax code as you want to. Okay, by clicking on here, let's say I'm saying import tax, okay, transaction supply. Right, now go back to the list here. Okay, you find that QQQ was created for you already. Okay, so this is an example of how you create a tax code. Now, if you have your own customized chart account, you have to remember, okay, if you have affected any of the GST control account, then very likely here will show you a blank values. Okay, the rules here will show you a blank value. All right, so make sure you change the let me give you an example. Okay, if you see something like this, okay, you know your setup is wrong. All right, so and then make sure that you have the right setting. The setting over here is not correct. Okay, you have to set the some of the items here ES. Probably you have one of the BL. Hang on, probably ES. Okay, is under expenses. All right, so you have to check the account. You refer back to your tax agent to assist you on the setting out of this account. Right. So let me set this back to TX. TX is actually input GST input account. All right. So let's go back to here. If you define it correctly, okay, then the account code will appear correctly. Now, what is this tax schedule maintenance? Why is it so complex? The reason is that okay, you can see there is an expire date. Okay. Now this year let's say from April 2015 to April 2016, the tax rate may be 6%. Now, May 2016 onwards, it could be 7%. Now, if you are capturing transactions in April or May 2016, okay, you'll be keying transactions that is actually 2015 likely, or 2016 April transactions, and you want to capture 6%, not 7%. That's why there's a need to capture multiple tax schedule. All right. So how do you create the next tax schedule? First of all, okay, is that you must expire this one. Okay, which is this one. All right. Once you expired, then only you can create add. Okay, the add button will come up, right? And from the add button, then you can create the additional tax code for this particular schedule. All right. So this is how it goes. I'll probably come out another video, okay, when that happens with the new tax schedule. Okay. So at the moment, you can just ignore this. All right. Now, to close the year-end processing is very simple. Okay. All you have to do is just click on this. Okay. Once you click, okay, this financial year will be closed and you cannot make any more further amendments. If you want to see your previous year reports, all right, go back to your you want to see your cash or what do you call your profit or loss balance sheet, you know. So all you have to do is that uh, uh, the system will keep the data there. The data will remain in the system. It will not purge. And when you generate profit or loss account, okay, and you want to look last year's result, then your last financial year will appear here. Select last financial year and also the period. Then the system will actually generate the last year report for you. So you don't have to back up, you know, and then restore or anything like that. All right. So this is how it goes. Okay. Now, I would like to touch about a little bit about the access control and also the okay, access control. The GL fine is different from your customer fine transaction. The difference is that here it's from the account's perspective, and from here is from your that customer's perspective. Okay, your customer name over here, right? So from here is the supplier perspective. Okay, sorry, fine transaction, supplier's perspective. Okay, so that's what we cover. And the other specialized trail, like your customized header bank reconciliation. Okay, I'll touch on the bank reconciliation. Uh, okay, I'll touch on the bank reconciliation. Now, bank reconciliation is basically select the bank that you're interested in. Okay, just now was okay. Click on match and unmatch. Okay, and you can see the transactions that was performed earlier. Okay, so if you have reconcile, okay, you click on to match and unmatch. Okay, let's say you want to key in last year's bank recon, last year's balance. Okay, unpresented checks. Then you come here and key in the bank account number. Okay. Date, key in the date. This is the bill number. And write your check. Okay, and comment here. So 1,000 or 10,000, right? And that's all you have to do. Okay, so there's bank reconciliation. Okay, now coming back to now, assuming I want to control my what do you call control my I want to change. I want to have auto manual manual auto generation number. Okay, manual number. That means my invoice number. Okay, my sales invoice number. Okay, I don't want the system to generate for me. I want to manually issue it. Okay, how are you going to do that? Okay, go back to account module setup. In the account module setup, you'll find the second link, okay, which is auto generation number. In the auto generation number, okay, you'll find there's a list of here of codes that was defined already for you. Now, next is that okay, next, if you want the system to automatically generate the next number, check this on. Okay, if you don't want it, you want to manually issue, click on this way. Okay, so let's say for sales, okay, if you want to manually issue the number, okay, then check it off and then update, and then you have to manually key in the invoice number. Okay, so this is how you handle the manual invoice. Okay, manual invoice number. All right, and you have to track what's the next sequence number, but you have to do it very carefully because the custom checks make sure that your number is running sequence number. All right. Okay, so this is how you change the behavior of the auto sequence number, auto generation number, okay, for the sales and also your purchases. All right. Okay. Now let's see, have we covered all of them? Okay, so that will be it all for today. And if you have any other further questions, okay, list out all the questions and then email to me, and I will prepare a video or during the Q&A session, I will answer your questions. Okay, and hopefully I will cover all the basic stuff. And if you have very special interest in certain area, then your Q&A question will be very helpful for me to prepare for that, so that I can share with everybody. Okay, all right, thank you, bye.